Hello, this is Sal. Today I'll be talking about router on a stick. What's router on a stick? It's a term frequently used to describe a setup that consists of a router and a switch connected using one Ethernet link configured as a .1q trunk link. In this setup, the switch is configured with multiple VLANs, and the router performs all routing between the different networks. And now, why do we call it router on a stick? Inter-VLAN routing can be achieved through a layer 3 device, for example. When the inter-VLAN routing is done through router, this is known as router on a stick. The router's interface is divided into sub-interfaces, which acts as a default gateway to their respective VLANs. Here on this network, I have router 1. I did not configure anything on router 1, but here, if you can see for VLAN 1, and it's going to be the native VLAN for the interface, for sub-interface gig 000.1 for VLAN 1, and this is the IP address. And for VLAN 20, I made the sub-interface .20 with here the IP address, and VLAN 30.30 and with the IP address. Nothing I configured on the switch yet, and this is the IP address for VLAN 1 on switch 1. And for the PCs, for each PCA, I configured the IP addresses. As you can see here for PCA 172.16, it will be under with VLAN 30.2, and PCB, it's with VLAN 20.2, and the respective default gateway or in the sub interfaces on router 1. So now let's work on router 1, configure the sub interfaces for the VLANs. Enable, configure terminal. I will name the router 1, interface 000 no shut, and now interface gig 000.1 for VLAN 1. And now notice after I enter the IP address for VLAN 1 of 172.16.1.1 255, I received this telling us that a configuration IP routing on a VLAN subinterface is only allowed if that subinterface is already configured as part of an IEEE 802.10, IEEE 802.1q, or ISL VLANs. So the first thing we want to do encapsulation, and it's .1q for VLAN 1, and we have VLAN 1 as a native VLAN for this network. Now we enter the IP address of 172.16.1.1 with the /24 subnet mask. Now for the sub interface, the VLAN 20.20 and the same encapsulation .1q, and this is for VLAN 20, the IP address .16.20.1/24 subnet mask. Now for VLAN 30.30 encapsulation .1q, and it's for VLAN 30 IP address and with /24 subnet mask. Now we are done with working on the router for now. Now let's go to the switch. The switch, we will first enable, configure terminal, name the switch, first name as W1. Now the interface is 1024, the interface facing the router, and it's gonna be switch port trunk encapsulation .1q switch port trunk native VLAN 1 switch port mode trunk. Now for the VLAN 1 exit, enter VLAN 1 IP address, or let me do no shot for VLAN 1 IP address of 172.16.10.1. This is, yep, sorry, .1.10 and the /24 subnet mask. Now for this interface on the switch facing PCA, want to configure the switch as an access port to PCA in VLAN 30. We'll go interface gig 1/0/1 switch port mode access switch port access, and for PCA on VLAN in VLAN 30. Does not exist, creating VLAN. So the switch created for us the VLAN 30. I will create VLAN 20. Exit again. Show VLAN brief. Here it's showing us that the switch created for us VLAN 30 when I try to make a PCA in VLAN 30, and I created VLAN 20 here. Configure terminal. Let's go to PCB interface. It's connected to port 1/02 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN, and as for PCB we are accessing VLAN 20 interface gig 1/03 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN PCC for VLAN 20, and the last PCD enter VLAN, enter the port of gig 1/0 for switch port mode access switch port the switch port access VLAN 30. Exit. So now let's see if we PCA can ping its default gateway. Ping. I always type it as Byong. I really don't know why. y72.16.1, sorry, .20.1, and yes, it can PCB, and can it ping its default gateway? Ping 172.16.20.1. Yes, it can. Can it ping PCD? Ping 172.16.30.3. Yes, it can. And as you can see, in a very simple ways, I configured the router on a stick, inter-VLAN routing, and always, when you want to learn something new, just keep it simple. When it is simple and a small network, you can, and you understand the rules, then you will be able to work on more complicated networks. I hope you learned something from this video, and it was informative and helpful, and I'll see you next video. And please subscribe to my channel on YouTube and like it, and have a nice day. Thank you.